Wow. Alright, so it's 5 p.m. today, the 10th of July 2020. Guess what? I won't tell you that anyway. Well, this is the second video. I'm glad to be making this. At least I got so many of you pardoned me for yesterday's video being my first time. Don't worry, I'm going to get better as we move along the way. I appreciate all of you that took out time to comment on the post. Those that followed through with the video. And guess what? I didn't even know my phone has become a little bit smarter than they used to be. Yes, I was able to share the live video on my Instagram TV. I shared on my story on Instagram as well. I was also able to share on one of my pages, and to be able to get people to interact with the video, and it was a very wonderful experience. So you're gonna be seeing this video not only on Facebook, you'd also be seeing it on Instagram, and wherever you see it, make sure you like the video, you share, you place a comment. You'll also be seeing it on my YouTube channel. You can be able to connect with me across all social media platforms. On Facebook, Segun Fadimu. On Twitter, Segun Fadimu, or my handle S Fadimu. On Instagram, Segun Fadimu. On LinkedIn, Segun Fadimu. On YouTube, Segun Fadimu. It's the same me. I'm across everywhere, and it's good to be able to share my thoughts with everyone across the world, at least to make you to hear a little bit of my story, share and enjoy a little bit of what I'm enjoying. I've been enjoying for the past couple of years, and at least be able to get to know me a little bit. One of my pages that you can also connect with on Facebook is Segun Fadimu Network on Facebook. We also have a very similar page as well on Instagram, Segun Fadimu Network. It's one of the work that we are doing to be able to raise consciousness for the young people, to help them to better, channel their energy, be focused, know the right direction, to also be able to plan better for their future, be able to get into the 21st century, not still operating with the 20th century, programming. This is the 21st century. Things are a lot different from the way they used to be. So back to my business online. Well, if you are seeing this video right now, please just like, or you drop a comment, let me know you're online so I can give you a shout out. And don't worry, when I give you a shout out, your name also rings across all my social network, social media handle, or whatever you call them. All right, so I started this video content to be able, to educate everybody that sees it a little bit more about network marketing, and basically about business, why you should start a business for yourself, and one or two things that you can also gain from these stuffs that I've been able to, enjoy, and also learn from entrepreneurs, business leaders all across the world, and the people that I've been able to be privileged to work with in my team, across different organizations that I've been able to consult for, and people that thrive and still, make headway in whatever they do. So business has been the thing, and I've not always been a business person myself per se. I grew up in a very conservative family. My parents were above the average, what you can say, the middle class then, right? So my dad had a job, my mommy had a petty trading business that she was doing. So I grew up in that kind of environment. So it has always been, work hard, go to school, get good grades, then you get a job. Mr. Ajala Adedapo, well, thank you for coming on board. Thank you for the wave. It's really good to see you. I hope the kids are doing well. Thank you for joining me. Well, so I grew up in a family, in a middle class family, so I haven't been pretty much of a business person myself. But then somewhere along the line, I knew that business would be the way forward. And what was one of the triggers? I remember back then when we were growing up, and my parents were, okay, well to do. At least we had most of the stuff that we wanted as kids. And I can remember that whatever we wanted, my daddy was always getting them done for us. But then he was forced to retire by Nitel. That was in 2007 or thereabout, when he had to leave, when Nitel had to, lay all of them off because it was being, I think the government was considering privatizing Nitel there. So things took a drastic turn. We were just, trying to survive, be above the waters. Things were tough, and this was just a family where we had everything we wanted. But because my father's main source of livelihood was to hold down a job, which as at then when he was retiring was a senior manager with Nitel. So when the income was no longer coming from them, we had to struggle and struggle and struggle. So it was from then that I started, I started understanding one or two things. That truly, if you want financial freedom and be able, to take care of yourself, one of the stuff that you may want to look into is starting up a business for yourself. I'm not against, having a job, holding down a job. Of course, everybody cannot run businesses, because if we all run businesses, then who are going to be the professionals? Who are going to be the engineers, the doctors, the accountants, that secretary? Who is going to be doing all those stuff? Who are going to be the one designing the cars, the architect designing the houses, and all that. So everybody cannot, be in the business. I'm just trying to explain to you how, I got into business. So long story short, my mentality shifted a little bit from working to understanding that maybe in the future I might want to go into a business for myself. So we started out as that, doing one or two things. I went to school. I graduated from Olabisi Nobody University. I got out. I can remember when I got my first job with Baba Audu Nigeria Limited. I was a logistics manager, and it was fun. Hey, Ms. Adeshewa Gumakin, thank you for coming on board. It's good to see you. It's been a while. All right, so back to my story. So I got my first job. I was very happy. I worked for 3 months as a logistics manager with Baba Audu, and guess what? I only got paid once, 10,000 naira. My salary anyway wasn't supposed to be 10,000 anyway. I was a graduate, but for the entire 3 months I only received the payment once, which was just 10,000 naira. After then, I got out of there, went for service, came back, did little business just to survive here and there, But eventually, I landed into teaching, one of the greatest profession. I landed into teaching, and I was in teaching for a very long time until, a couple of years after, I started, I started my own business, and from then I started running businesses before I got into network marketing. Now, one of the greatest triggers for me was the ability for me to be able to sustain myself when I could no longer work, when I no longer have the strength, when I can decide that, okay, at this particular point in time in my life, I want to retire. I don't want to be actively involved in any business, and I can still be able to make money. Money still comes in and all that. So my major focus was wealth, financial freedom, not having money in the immediate, not being able to eat, being able to feed my family, being able to buy clothes, have shoes and all that. So the aim that I've always thought about was the future. So when the opportunity came for me to be able to start a business, it was easy for me to identify, because I had already prepared myself. I had already been thinking, in that line. And why do I think that business is one of the major things? Now, if you look at the present economy, I did some analysis for us yesterday, raised on unemployment, And in Nigeria here, come on, either unemployment, rate of unemployment going up or not. For years there has never been jobs, and if entrepreneurs are no longer providing jobs, in the nearest future everybody will run out of what to do. So to keep the circle running, to keep the jobs coming, government cannot do everything. Entrepreneurs have to spring forth and make these things happen. Now, my question to you today, if you're watching this video or whatever you're seeing it is, do you think what you're doing right now can sustain you in this present economic condition? Do you think the job that you have, either you're a general manager, you're a senior manager, you're the managing director, you're the supervisor, you're a secretary, you're an accountant, you're a doctor, you're a veterinary doctor, you're a pharmacist, whatever you're doing, do you think it can sustain you in this present economy? Say you look into the nearest, few days from now, few months, few years, if this economy remain as it is, which I bet you is not going to remain as it is, it's either it's going to go up or it's going to come down. Yeah. So with this present economy, do you think you can whatever you're doing now? Do you think it can sustain you? Now, I watched a video of Ubon King. In that video, he said something, was analyzing, the Garden of Eden and the river Euphrates and all those rivers that flow through it. And one of the stuff that I got from the video that he was trying to say was, one source of income is disastrous. I'm sure a family person, either a father or a mother, a married person would really understand what I'm trying to say. Because a stream of income, just one stream of income, is very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. So one of the stores I think we all should look out for is being able to generate extra income on the side. Being able to generate extra income on the side. It can be through a business, through investment, through whatever you have to do. You need to get a proper education for it. So one thing I need you to ask yourself is, can what I am doing right now, can it sustain myself in this present economic condition? And if you think it can still sustain you, then the next question you need to ask yourself is, do I have dreams? Now, if I'm talking about dreams, I'm not talking about the stuff that you see when you sleep, like Joseph. Yeah, I'm talking about your aspirations. Those things that you hope to achieve with your life. The footprints that you hope to leave on the sand of time. Your legacy that you hope to leave behind. Like a smart man once says that dream is what keep you awake when others are sleeping. You have to have. Do you have dreams? Now, what are those dreams? Now, if you can be able to identify them. Now, if you don't have any, I'll suggest you start having some. If you're able to identify them, then you now think inward. My source of income, what I am doing right now, can it help me to achieve my dream? Is this source of income enough to help me achieve my dream? Now, if you're able to answer that question, then you will know the direction in which you're heading to. Mr. Legre Bamidele Jonathan, thank you for joining in. I sincerely appreciate you. So I've come to the end of my video today. So you can just drop your comments on whatever you see this video. If it's on YouTube, you drop your comments, subscribe to this channel. If it's on Facebook, you also drop your comments on the page. Let me be able to know what your thoughts are. If on Instagram, if it's on Instagram TV, drop your comments as well. Wherever you come across this video, just drop your comment. I want to know, do you think business is the way forward? Do you think entrepreneurs are saddled with the responsibility of providing more jobs for the upcoming generation and this present generation? Do you think what you're doing right now is enough to help you fulfill your dream? I see you next time on this live video. If you catch me live on Facebook, I'm going to be dropping videos either 5 p.m. or 10 a.m. whichever time I'm able to find myself online. And if you're not able to catch me online, just go through my pages. That's Segun Fadimu across all social media platforms, or across all social media platforms. That's on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. and also on YouTube. So you can just, just catch the video anytime you can. Drop your comments, share the video, like, and thank you very much. I'm rooting for you. See you at the top. I remain one and only Segun Fadeni. Over and out.